What is up? Welcome back to another video. Gonna talk about a recent purchasing decision I've made that is up there with one of my more unwise decisions. I was on some weird kick and I thought this would be a good decision, right? It's usually where it goes wrong. And I found this, and it was also like 20 bucks. So it was just the perfect storm of me thinking this will be a good idea, and then it also being cheap-ish. For what you get, very cheap. But I'm still going to talk about it a little bit now. I'm going to make a follow-up video on it a little bit later. But there was just one thing with this camera in particular that is fairly common, and I want to go over it, and it is the Canon T90. It is just a brick house, for lack of a better term. It's very weird. It's a weird camera. This is, I would say this is like the Canon EOS 650, which I'll put a picture of here. I have one laying around somewhere. I just don't want to be bothered to dig through the nightmares to try to find it. But the 650, very similar size, takes a different battery than the T90. Also, it has the EF mount. This is the FD mount, so it's a little bit cooler, I think, because you can throw on the old school lenses. It's still manual focus, but it does have a electrical motor drive, all that stuff. This is kind of the same brand of cameras as the T50, the T60, T70, T80, T90. The T80 was interesting because I do think it had that one lens with the focus, the like motoring focus. I don't think it was autofocus, but I could be forgetting. This camera though is broken. It cost me $20, like I said. The on-off switch is right here, and it will fire. Let me turn it off from 30 seconds. It will fire, right? Cool. Can I fire again? No. It just says E, like a dolphin. E. Anyway, I'm not good at doing things like that. I can never roll my R's either. I don't know if that's like I probably try. I've heard that that's a thing you can like work your tongue to like, but it's just, I don't know. I took Spanish for a couple years and not for me. Would like to learn again. You know, now I feel like it's more important to learn languages, but in high school it just didn't really catch on. Anyway, the battery check button here on the side will turn that off, and you can fire it again, and then just have to kind of keep doing that. I'm sure there's a more like solid workaround, but for the time being, that's the situation. The other thing it's missing is little toggle for the viewfinder closer, which is kind of a bummer because I always think these are cool, especially if you're doing like long exposures. Minimizes the way the light comes in. Also too, if you like don't want someone to use your camera, you can do that, you know, close it up and give it to them and then blame them for breaking it. Anyway, the problem this one has, which I've seen a lot of these have, especially like the more professional model of cameras, because people use longer, heavier lenses, the lens mount becomes loose. And now with this, it's a little bit tricky because you see this monolithic front piece and you just, how do I get this off? And it's actually pretty easy that I will walk you through right now. Obviously, I took it apart previously. But there are 5 screws you need to worry about. These 2 on the side, you only have to loosen up because this body part kind of clips in. You can see the clips there, and then there is 1 screw there and 2 screws here, 2 screws right there, and then the one in the top. So it's just zoink and then zoink. Then once you loosen those up, like I said, lift up and kind of pull out. I would try to leave this on if you can. There's a spring mechanism there for the back door latch, and it's just easier for everybody if you try to leave that together. And then from here we can see like just how much it does rotate. I'm gonna see if I can put this up. It's a little dark, sorry, I'm just realizing that. So yeah, it moves quite a bit. So we will take our trusty screwdriver here and just simply tighten in on those. This is a pretty basic thing you can do, and it definitely helps quite a bit. And I was also noticing that the body portion here also had a lot of give, so I'm tightening it on those as well. That should be good to go. And then I'm going to take these screws out because I just put them in so I wouldn't lose them. As you can see, my desk is a little bit of a mess right now as I am in the midst of multiple projects I'm going to get to momentarily. I just wanted to get this video out of the way because this camera I find to be interesting, and it was having an issue that I find to be kind of bothersome. So loosening up these, not taking them all the way out, and then that, there we go. The other thing too is keeping this lined up. So typically the natural setting point for the depth of field preview switch is going to be that direction, so make sure that that lines up properly. Once you have the body part, once you have the clips set in place, I would say tighten up those first and foremost so you don't have to worry about it flinging off at you. Clips all in, good to grow. If you have a T90, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think they're really cool cameras. It's kind of like that weird bridge period between the analog Canon cameras and then them trying to find their identity in the new digital era of photography. Overall, it is pretty monstrous. Like it is big. For size comparison, here's a AE1. So this is quite a bit larger. And if you want to be even more freaked out, here's an MX next to it. Isn't that crazy? But I will say that I think this holds its size well. It has a really, really strong grip here, which I feel like is really awesome. Fits my hand fully. And overall, I've just always been kind of a big fan of the size and shape. I also think that this portion here is just like really an overlooked ergonomic aspect to the camera. I think having this depth of field thing right there for your finger to just kind of is ingenious. All the buttons are super accessible. This little like side pouch thing is interesting. You don't see that on many cameras, and it doesn't really function as well as you might want it to, but in terms of just cleaning up the overall design, I think it's great. Make sure that there's like not too much dials going on, like you still have like actual buttons that can like operate things, and I think having the battery check as a nice like fail proof is nice. Other than that, pretty interesting camera. I will definitely be talking about a bit more, and hopefully maybe one day try to get it working more consistently. For now though, that's pretty much how you access the T90 lens mount to tighten it up, because that way you can put a lens on, maybe. There we go. The hail. Yeah, you can put a lens on and not worry about it jostling around too much. Just a nice little thing. Just how cool does this look? I just think it's a cool look. A little silver band around there. Really nice looking classic lens. Anyway, that's pretty much it for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. It was just a joy to make. I'll try to do more relatable and useful content in the near future, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below if you've shot with the T90. What do you think about it? And catch you on the next one.